Good evening. Namaste. The light in me honors the light in you. Hello, my lovely, beautiful, radiant sisters of the African diaspora. How are you? It is late, and so in the nighttime, my alter ego comes out. How are you all this evening? Okay, this is kind of news breaking. Because you guys see I have about 3-4 chit chat videos up there with me retightening, right? And let me make sure my stuff is on. Hold on. Okay, but I only ever do this part, right? Well, get this. Like, really get this. You guys know I have 2 locticians, right? They are wonderful, beautiful women. One of them is going to be coming on the cleanse, by the way. So if you haven't signed up, okay, and you don't know if you want to do the cleanse, maybe you should consider it, because one of the best locticians in the world is going to be on there. No, she is though. So anyway, I called the other one. I kind of alternate them. I don't like to stay away from one too long because I, like to, keep my relationship current, and I don't want to be absent from either of them for too long. So the second one, she doesn't always respond right away. She's really busy. She has her own natural hairline, and she has some great stuff. So Nega hadn't gotten back with me, right? But I knew, I'm kind of laid back. I'm a very laid back person. I'm spontaneous. I'm in the moment. So I'm like, okay, what will be, will be. So anyway, y'all know I fool around with these about maybe 3-4 weeks ago, right? And then the other day, I started moving further and further and further, right? And I did it while I was sitting up watching TV. And I was like, hey, I think I can do this. So you guys, I decided to see if I could retighten my own locks, okay? Now, this is what the thing is looking like. Y'all, I'm so excited. And the reason why I'm so excited is this. I did it while just fooling around, right? It was so much easier than I thought. Did I run into some obstacles and some stumbling blocks? What do y'all think about my little eyelashes right there, huh? Yeah, I know. They looked better earlier today. But I'm working on it. Whew, I don't know what people who get those things on there, those things are a hot mess. But so I started tightening, guys, and I kept going. And before I knew it, I had a lot done. So I started here. I did this, and then I did this. And then I said, well, hell, I can do more. So I kept moving back. And then I said, I'm going to do my whole head. It's good to know if you can do your own hair. I remember at one time, my husband and I were considering moving to Belize so I could meditate for a couple of years and then come back and be a spiritual guru. So seriously, we were thinking about going to jump ship and, be expats in Belize. He lived in Belize for some years, long time ago. And probably before I was born. No, my husband's much older than I am. And so I was like, well, when I get to Belize, who's going to do my hair? That was one of my concerns. Who's going to do my hair? And then I thought, well, I could pay somebody to learn how to do it, but I was still concerned. So as I continued to move through my hair, I was like, you know what? This is good because I can prove to myself that I can retighten my own hair. And if I can retighten my own hair and not suffer any major casualties, then I can do it when and if I choose. Now, would I be doing this on a regular basis? No. But at the end of the day, I was like, dang, I saved $140, or I'm about to save $140 because I'm not done. And I was like, that's kind of nice, it's kind of nice. I was like, okay, so let me show you what I have done. And then let me tell you what some of the pitfalls are, because I still have about I probably have about this amount left to do, guys. Yeah, about this amount. And the funny thing is, when my locticians do my hair, it takes about 3.5 to 4.5 hours, depending upon who does it and if they're standing up or sitting down or if we're talking, right? You guys know me, I talk, right? So sometimes I'll be sitting there talking and I'll have to stop and say, hey, Frosh, can you believe, and she has to stop and look at me and I've got to stop and look at her. So what we are talking about here, y'all, is, did I keep the grid? I think I kept the grid. The grid is intact. Now, my grid up here is a little different because in the beginning when I had my locks, Some of them were larger in here, and I had a few up here that I went back and separated on my own, okay? Because I wish I could find some older pictures so that you can see. I did upload one video. You know what, as I'm talking, I'm going to fish for a picture, and I'm going to put it up here if I can. Since I'm filming from the computer today, I can do a little bit of editing. I'm going to see if I can show you a picture where I had a few ones up here that ended up getting thick and fat, and I didn't like it. And so the grid is not perfect up here, but who cares, okay? Who cares? I don't care. I'm satisfied. And so I encourage you to venture out and only do what you feel comfortable with. So, all right. I did have some emergency situations where I had to have my daughter come in, because if you know me, I'm so spontaneous and so impulsive that I start retightening. I don't put the clips in. I don't do anything. I go back to the days of when I was in high school and college doing individuals, and I would do it by touch. So I would start out up in here like this, and I would just start retightening. And then about maybe 7 times, guys, I connected them. I still had one here after coming back from the mountains this past weekend that was connected. But luckily, my daughter, who is so patient, she was able to take the majority of them out. 2 of them, I did just kind of rip the hair. But you don't have to do it the way I did it. I want you to be responsible, and I want you to get the clips, and I want you to separate the hair and do all that stuff and hold the pieces so that you're only working on one piece at a time. Outside of that, it was a piece of cake. I'm thinking I spent maybe 4.5 hours so far on it, you guys. I don't feel that it took me that long, but I'm not done. I probably have another 2 hours left. It was amazing. So, okay, how did I do with my grid? I did good, didn't I? Now, the other thing I did, I went tighter than my loctician does. This is my first time. I'm experimenting, but my hair was not sore at all. And the only difference was I wasn't going through it so fast. I took my time. So it wasn't, to me, the tightness that is going to cause a lot of the damage to your scalp, provided it's not excessively tight and pulling like this. It's the way that as they're moving through, trying to cover a certain amount of locks in a certain amount of time and meet a deadline, that stuff just rakes through. And it's the pulling, I feel, for me, that makes it sore. So I did good, you guys. And I'm not done. This whole side is done, though. This is me retightening. Now, I have some other repairs I'm going to make to my hair. I am thinking, what is this? Is this my gray? You know, I do have some grays that are coming. I think that might be gray. It better be. You guys know if it's lint. No, this is not lint. I know it's not lint. I can tell. Could be gray. I got gray here. Yes, life starts at 40, but so does gray sometime. So, and I have it in various places. You can see it here. So I'm good, right? And this, I can't tell you how easy it was. And I did okay. I mean, I really did okay. I'm proud of myself. You see these little pieces here and there that are imperfect. I want to do a video about those so that I can warn you guys of what not to do. Okay, let's take a look in here. I'm good here too, right? Oh, y'all, look at that. I'm able to see. I wasn't able to see it as well before. Somehow when I'm up in the mirror, this is clearer, probably because I have all these lights behind the computer. Okay, I left one. Okay, so this is what I was doing, right? You see, yeah, I left. Oh my. I've got a few of these. So let me just show you what I was doing, y'all. This was a piece of cake. Now, if I was using my other tool, also, I didn't do this. I'm doing this for your benefit. Now you can do as I do, but don't do as I say. How about that? So, I'm just gonna, okay. I'm so proud of myself, you guys. Okay, so here, you see I've got This amount of new rows. I got quite a bit. I could almost get 2 fingers in there. Now, you all know I usually wait every 10, 11 weeks. I've heard people say all sorts of things, and I'm going to give a disclaimer in the same way that I do for some of my other, well, for my professional services, but not the coaching. I don't need a disclaimer for that. I'm talking about when I was working with students and things of that nature. What I do with my hair, and most of you guys already know this is a given, but it looks like some folks on other channels are still having trouble with people coming back and saying, well, you know, you told me I could do this. You told me I could do that. I'm doing what I do with my hair, okay? You see, I told y'all I take my ends out. I pluck out hair up to here. I pick cotton. I'm obsessive with things. I got a lock back here that I found, guys. Not that I found it, but I realized I don't know why this one is so fat, and I don't like it. This one here, and I think I'm going to take this out. I know I'm going to lose quite a bit of hair, but look at this. Look how fat that is. And then look at this. Now, this is because it's straight on in. This is one of the ones that I corrected. This would have had bubbles and bumps, and it would have looked really crazy. But I went in and I made some corrections, and when I was doing that some years ago, I should have just thinned this out. I really should have. So I'm considering that. I don't know. I've got about 2 or 3 at the back that are bigger than I feel that they should be. Okay, so here we go. I'm going to try to do this now. For me, I always start going to 9 o'clock. Okay? That's just me. Then I'm going to 6. Now, if I combine something, my daughter Naima is going to have a fit. While I'm talking, I'm having trouble concentrating. So now I got to go to 12. Okay. This is where it gets tricky because you really need to, oh, look at that. That's what I was doing. You see, I'm combining that. Look, you see that? I'm going to be in a fix. So that's what you got to watch out for. When you are doing, I might have already done it, y'all. Oh, Lord. When you're doing your own hair, y'all, I got gotten already. I have to get Naima down here. She's going to be upset. Let me see if I can call her, y'all. She can fix this. Otherwise, I'm just going to start on another one. I'm going to do it right. I'm going to take my time. And I'm not going to talk while I'm talking to you. Again, this is not a tutorial, folks. If this was a tutorial, then y'all, you might could say all sorts of things. This is me showing you what I do. It doesn't have to be perfect. Let's see what Naima says, okay? I'm going to put her on speaker. I run my children. I know I get on their nerves, but you know what? As long as they live in my house, they're going to have to do what I tell them to do, and that's all it is to it. Look at this, y'all. Did I combine it?
Hello.
Hi, baby. How you doing?
Good, how are you?
I'm good. How you coming?
With what?
Can you come down here real quick?
Yeah.
Thank you, baby. Naima is a saint. She's 21 and living at home, finishing her last year of college. Sophia, on the other hand, she would have been like, Mommy, it's late. I'm tired of it. And then we would have a mess. I could probably, oh, look at that. I think I can get this out on my own. I might be able to.
Mommy, if it's to detangle something.
She said, Mommy, if it's to detangle something. Naima, I just did this one and I can actually see it.
Are you serious?
Yeah, it's right here. I can see it. I'm filming. Can you just come take it out? Yeah, you see, I just did it. And I'm sitting in front of the camera and I'm filming. You see that right there, baby? Can you take that out? It's very easy. It's not as tight as the other ones you took out. Would you like to say hi, Naima? Don't say no. She's smiling at least. This one's easy, right, Naima? Yeah. Naima, what color fingernail polish is that? I see you have on your Somali batik.
Here you go.
Come here, say hi. Naima dyed her hair, guys. You saw it before. Now just say hi. Say hi. Thank you, Naima. I love you, darling. I did the Scorpio reading tonight. You might want to check it out, but it wouldn't apply to you anyway. It was a third-party situation, not very pleasant. Okay. All right, guys. So here we were right here, right? Thank you, Nai. I'm going back in. So again, I'm using this little needle. Now the crochet hook in certain places is going to be easier than this needle. You can see that this takes time. This brings me to another point, and then I'm going to end the video. I don't want to end it though. I love y'all. But this brings me to the other point. You know how they keep saying, leave those bulbs alone, don't let those fat pieces, da-da-dee, all that stuff. Let me tell you something. As if it's not hard enough to get it through the head of here, and you can open this up. You can modify this, or you can use the nappy lock tool or the, the Aura J tool. There's lots of other tools. But when you have a very thin part, you try putting that thick thing through there, and you tell me if you don't think your hair is experiencing or feeling some kind of way about that, especially when you get into very tender areas you cannot afford. I don't think my hair, I don't want to say my hair is the exception, y'all, but I gotta tell you, I have all kind of bumps and stuff, even now. This is good because I have done the work. I've done a lot of work on my locks, but I have some, y'all, that are still crazy. And I don't care what anybody says. I work on them. Some of them are crazy because they come back the same way. I have to do it again to thin it out. I worked hard to get these things uniform. They were not like this on their own. My hair did all sorts of things. She was very disrespectful, my hair was. Okay, we were going to 12 o'clock, so here we go again. The other thing, if I pull this through like this, I'm going to get jammed. This, I need to make sure is back there. Now, here's what I'm going to do. I'm not going to talk, and I'm going to hold my head down, and I'm going to focus so that you can actually see what I'm doing. 9 o'clock. Or again, that's west. South. You can see that when you start to get the hang of this, guys, it's a piece of cake. You can do this blindly. Okay, see, I was getting ready to combine something. You can do this really blindly. Not a big deal. Pulling that through there. You see what I'm talking about, right? You have to be careful. And you need to be gentle. In this case here, because this thing is so small and this is thicker, using the crochet tool is going to be a little bit better. Then again, I had a nappy lock tool too some years ago. I wasn't that fond of that, but I'm thinking I might try it again. If I were to seriously begin retightening my hair, I would probably try that again. Because now I'm looking at things a little bit differently. And I'm looking at the real practicalities of actually being in a situation where I would be retightening. In this case, I would just loosen this up so that the thickest part is not through here, so that the hair at the root is not dealing with both the needle and the lock having to go through. So I'm going to lessen that burden. You see how this is? My hair is thick. So I need to open that up. I'm not interested in doing that right now. So now here we go. I'm almost done with this. See that? All right. And you do kind of want to pay attention to the way that you're going, because you don't want to go through the same way twice. I mean, you're not going to die. You know, the worst is not going to happen, but that's how you can develop holes and such. I'm thinking I will probably finish this up. Probably. I have a busy weekend coming up though. I have quite a few sessions, some discovery calls for coaching. I don't know if I'm going to be up to it. Plus, you guys know I was sort of on my back for off and on for 13 days. I'm overcoming a partially torn ligament or tendon in my shoulder from working out too zealously over the last several weeks. So I'm just getting back into the swing of things this week. I was not a happy camper, but from the bed I did as much as I could do. But I missed appointments. I had to do a lot of rescheduling. It was not the easiest thing. And I'm one of those people that don't feel good when I'm not busy doing things. All right, everybody. So this is what we are looking at. Okay. Uh-oh, my needle came off. You guys, I hope you're not looking at this and saying, look, if it takes all that, I'd never be retightening my hair. It's not this bad. It's because I'm talking to you guys while I'm doing it, okay? Okay, so here we go. That was it. That was pretty simple. I am going to do another one. I think I may have a few. See, I just kind of did it randomly, so I'm in this part mostly. So I got quite a bit to do. But again, these were what my locks look like. I'm going to get this as clear as possible. This is not an autofocus, you see? Y'all can see that, right? See, so my locks don't really ever turn. You can still see the pattern if you get up on my locks really clear. Now, you see this? That little bulging here. Imagine that times 5 and thicker, all up and down my lock. And you ask me if I'm going to listen to somebody sitting up trying to tell me, it's going to condense, it's going to do this, it's going to do that. No, I worked with my hair because I tend to be kind of a perfectionist. Virgo, guys. That's all I need to say, right? Virgo. Do y'all know any Virgos? Virgos in the house. Give me a shout out. So needless to say, I'm the one in the crowd that doesn't get enough. I got to wait until I overdo something. Okay, so again, I think I told you I always start at sort of 9 o'clock, right? And then I go to 6 or whatever it would be south. And then I come over here to east. Okay. And then I come up here to north, which would be your 12 o'clock, okay? And then I come over again, 9 o'clock. And then I come over here. Again, feeling through, making sure I'm not combining anything. You can see Naima, she was a little bit intransigent. She came on down, but she was like, Mommy, not again, you know, that type of thing. I try to give her some independence. She isn't a baby anymore, so I can't keep treating her like one just because she's sweet. But now that's Sophia. Oh, boy, I tell you. Let me make sure I'm still on track, everybody. We good, we good. So you can see if you really are cognizant and, you know, have some present moment awareness while you're doing this, you could watch TV if you had those clips. You would need to have those clips and isolate everything except the lock that you are working on. And you could definitely do it. Yeah, that's about it, I think. That's tight enough. So here we go, y'all. Here we go. I'm good. You know what I'm saying? Yeah, what y'all think? I think I can go one more. That's enough. So this is where we are. So what do y'all think? Like, I'm so proud of myself in terms of what I decided to do. So I still am going to go back through here and I am going to do some more. Not tonight, not this evening, but I'm going to finish this. And I will be able to say for the first time, I have retightened my entire hair. And I lived to tell about it. And you know what? It was a beautiful experience. And unlike when I used to braid those individual braids, which I think that's where I think that's when I got carpal tunnel syndrome before they even knew what carpal tunnel syndrome was from doing those hair weaves for people and doing all my box braids all the time. My hands would get so tired. And I mean, my parts, y'all, would be straight. And I would be in the mirror with that little mirror, and I'd have the other mirror behind me, and I'd be making those parts and then plaiting. I used to wear them really long. This was when I was in high school and college. But this is so much easier because, you know, somebody else did the hard work, right? So let me tell you guys what else I am thinking of doing. You know, I took these two little ones. They used to be a little bit bigger than this, okay? I separated these. I guess it's going to be about 2 months now. Okay, I separated them. Okay, I wanted them smaller. You see? Now, this one is doing great. It ain't coming out. It's going to try to get a ball on the end. I'll take that out in a while, but not now. This one loosened up. And this is something else I wanted to talk about. I'll talk about this in another video. When they start slipping, this came out up to here. And so, you know, I had to tighten it up. A lot of you that are starting your locks that have shorter locks, and hear me well, I don't care what people tell you. I think we can all agree that you see people with sister locks and different people's heads look different ways. And it's not just about the texture of the hair. When you have too many loose ends because you're manipulating your hair too much early on, you're going to pay for that. When these start to slip, and let's say you have a loctician who I'm hearing, some people have these locticians who are not very thorough, or they try to change the price or add more money to the cost when they have to make certain repairs. Whatever you do, do not allow your lock to unravel from the middle to the bottom. Do not, the more loose hair you have, the more that when they lock, they're going to look more like, rather than kind of having that pattern that you can see that kind of differentiates the lock, they're going to look, some of them are going to look crazy. Let me find you a crazy one. These were the hardest ones. These are the ones I'm actually considering. There are about 6 of these, maybe doing extensions with just a little bit. I'm thinking about it. Really, Raven has a great video on how to just add a little extra hair. They're the ones that are shorter than this. Okay, take a look at this. To y'all, this just doesn't look crazy, right? But this wasn't what I signed up for when I got Sisterlocks. This one isn't as bad. Let me find another one. This might be one of the ones I kind of trimmed a bit this weekend. This is one I'm thinking of separating like this. I formed some smaller ones up here because this hair would grow like this is coming out, and I would just form a lock. So I'm thinking I may do that. I don't never let them tell you to leave all this crazy short hair around here out. If it starts to get long enough for you to have it locked, lock it. But what I'm trying to say is, oh, you see, my boo-boos, y'all getting ready to try to make a liar out of me. The ones around here were the most difficult. Okay, look at this. Now, the only reason why I'm putting up with this is because it took me forever to get this to grow. The whole thing. They would unravel and slip, and we would just plait them, and then she'd try to lock them the next 8 or 9 weeks, and they would unravel again. I finally started plaiting them myself, and in between, I would tighten. I would tighten with the needle, and then that way, by the time I got to her, it was still in place. And I continued and continued and continued to do that. But to me, I don't want my sister lock looking like this. That to me looks like a regular dreadlock, but it's mini. Now, I would rather mine still have a little bit of the pattern. You see that? You can see that pattern? Guys, and this is like 7, 8 years. Okay, wait. It takes a second for it to kind of focus. Okay, yeah, there we go. See? Imagine if your locks were bigger than this and they all started looking like this very early in the journey. When the hair is loose, it's going to lock up like this. It's going to look more like a free-form dread, but it's going to be small. To me, that's not what I paid for. Some people don't mind that, but I didn't pay for that. I paid for Sisterlocks to look a certain way. Now, my girlfriend Serena, and hopefully you'll see her if you're doing the cleanse, her hair was put in 2 years before mine. Mine is still a little bit longer than hers, but her hair, none of her ends curled. I told you, some of mine stayed out on their own, which I loved. I like the curly ends, and then the ones that tried to close up, I actually open them up. But hers look like, I mean, they even all still feel soft. You know how the locks typically, when they really lock, they start to harden in certain places? I would say probably less than 1/4 of mine are actually hard. Most of them are soft. And you will find some sisters who haven't even gotten into the teenage stages yet, or may be in the teenage stages, and theirs are already hard. So it does depend on the texture of your hair. Now, this is very, very hard. But some of this is hard because of what happened. This is what I used to do when I would repair these jokers. Buyer beware. Okay. It starts to unravel, right? In the middle. I would take this and I would start pulling down one by one and drag the tightness or the lock part down to here. I would do it and pull it down. Take it up, pull it down. Take it up here, pull it down. Take it up, pull it down. Take it up, pull it down until I had an open hole. And then I would thread the needle and then go through each time and repair it. Why? Because listen, you have a loctician consultant, right? She loves you, but it's not her hair. So these start to unravel. And let's say you don't have ends that curl up, okay? And you don't think it's cute. Or maybe you do have ends that curl up, but you want your locks to lock all the way to the end. Well, what's going to happen is when these have no boundaries, which would be the lock, the interlock pattern, it's going to just mat up and look crazy at the end. I didn't want mine to do that. Buyer beware. This is a disclaimer. So again, I would go in here. I would pull down. I would go in, pull down, little bit by little bit by little bit until I had an opening here. And I would either use my hands, depending upon how big the opening. Sometimes I could get it this big. I would push up that way, pull down that way, open it up, and then close it back up. I can tell the few of my locks that I've done that with here and there, but I haven't suffered anything major. That's just something that you might want to consider. I'm going to do another video about some of these things because I don't think that you should be okay with having a lot of loose ends. And I'm just telling you that. When my loctician did my hair, guys, she braided all the way to the end pretty much. She did the teasing thing that they do. She made that first knot, and I might have had maybe like this amount on most of mine. She went all the way to the end, and I think that made a difference. And I would not want it any other way. I love you, ladies. I hope you benefited from this. Send me a shout out. Tell me y'all proud of me. I ventured to. You see, I went pretty far, right? I mean, I got a lot of this stuff done. It's almost all done. And I got my grid. My grid is intact. My grid is intact. Yep. It's intact, you guys. I'm good. I'm good. I got this thing up here I got to do. That was one I missed. Yeah, see, so the casualties of doing your own. But you know what? It's so worth it. It's so worth it. So, I want to know what you guys think. And I have thought about cutting my hair, but I've decided more recently to stop complaining and leave it alone. I had some just sleeping on my pillows at night, y'all, with all this hair. It's kind of crazy, you know. And when I pulled that muscle and my neck was hurting, I was like, is it because they're heavy or what? I love you guys. I know y'all hear that a lot, but we that have channels, we really love you. Oh, and by the way, we are approaching 2,000 soon. We're going to be at 1,800 maybe by the weekend. I love you guys. Those of you who've been with me since the beginning, I want to thank my mother. I want to thank my father. I want to thank my dog and the people at the job. I really want to extend my gratitude, my appreciation. You guys bring a whole nother light into my life. And I don't think you have any idea. It's fun. This is like a freaking hobby. You know what I'm saying? And, oh yeah, watch out, guys. I'm going to start trying to do a little bit more makeup. I'm working on it. I was going to say, I'm going to start trying to do a little bit more makeup. a little bit more coverage, a little bit more colors. Be patient with me, but take this walk with me because you know it's new, but it is something I want to do. I went out those few months ago and bought all that makeup. I really got to start using it. And as you can see, today was the first day I tried to do something kind of orange and brown and something kind of frosty up there to match this, you know, and then I put this on to kind of accent it, and I had on lipstick that was matching, y'all. I felt kind of good. I was like, okay, this is working, this is working. And I tried to do my own eyebrows last week. I'm working on threading. When I perfect that, I'm going to bring that to the channel, but that's going to take some time. Y'all might be like in your 60s by the time I master that. But I'm working on a few things, and as I get more comfortable, got the cold on today, was dealing with a little bit of eye stuff, maybe some blepharitis, decided to use the cold, the powder from the east, from Saudi. My eyes got white again. I'm all cleared up, and I'm also brushing with that white charcoal. I'm working on whitening my teeth. I do that periodically, but normally I use the Colgate product, but I'm using that. I'm going to let you guys know how that goes. I love you. I better go. You guys are not here to amuse me. It's time for me to go. I need to get a life, right? Have a beautiful evening, and let me just say that abundance and prosperity are a state of mind, and every day strive to wake up in a mindset of expecting only abundance and prosperity, because that is who you are at your most essential nature, a state of perfect balance, existing in perfection with all that you need to be all that you can be. Tanisha Ali. Bye.